This video is for anyone that's interested in painting their home. These are going to be the most important things you need to consider to do it properly. Follow these steps and you should be good to go. Okay, so I think one of the most obvious things when you're painting, number one, you gotta choose the right paint. And that's where today's sponsor, Benjamin Moore, comes in. Choosing a high quality paint that's specifically meant for indoor walls is crucial. Regal Select Interior is the favorite paint for durability and washability, and it just stands up to everyday wear and tear. What's great about it too is normally when you go with a low sheen finish like flat or matte, they aren't as washable as a shinier finish. But the Ultimatte finish in Regal Select is. In fact, there are countless contractors that I know personally that swear by Regal Select for all of their projects, because not only is it great for the customer to know that they're getting a premium product, but also the application. It's nice and smooth and has great coverage as well. If you want to get more information on Benjamin Moore Regal Select, definitely check the link in the description for that. Okay, so you got your Regal, you got your paint, get the right tools. Number two, you'll need paintbrushes, you'll need rollers, trays, tape, drop cloths, and more. There's a lot that goes into this stuff. And if you need a little refresher about all those things that you need, you can check out our room painting checklist if you want to see all the deets on painting tools. Number three, prepare the walls. This is huge. Any professional will tell you prep is the most important part of any project. Make sure you fill in any holes or cracks with spackle. Be sure to sand those rough areas. And if you're spackling onto white walls, just a little tip here, it might be a good idea to carry a bit of colored chalk to mark the spots that you've spackled so you don't miss them during the sanding process. Because what can end up happening is you might paint over those unsanded spots, which could leave you with some unpleasant texture. Number four, protect floors, trim, and furniture. Use tape, plastic, and drop cloths to shield those floors, cabinets, and trim. My personal favorite method of protection is rolled cardboard on the floors. What's great about it is you can secure it right to the floor with tape, and then they can remain there for the duration of the entire project. They're not going to move around when you walk on them like drop cloths can sometimes do. It just gives you a more permanent option on a flooring that is more solid. Doesn't really work too well with carpet though. Number five, know when to apply a primer. There are a lot of products out there that are self-priming, which is handy because it eliminates the need to use a primer. The paint can behave similarly to what a primer would do. The thing is, when you have really dramatic color changes that you're dealing with, where you're painting over dark walls with a light paint, for example, apply a coat of primer. It will help the new paint adhere better. It's going to give you a much nicer starting point to work with as well. And cost-wise, if I'm doing an extra coat on top of my mandatory 2 top coats, I might as well use a primer versus a third coat of my expensive premium top coat paint. Save your Regal Select. And back over here. All right, so do the ceiling first. If you got to paint the ceiling, get it out of the way at the beginning. Trust me. It allows you to bring your roller right to the edge of the ceiling, and if you splash a bit of ceiling paint on your walls, who cares? No big deal. You're going to paint the walls right after, so it's all good. Number seven is a no-brainer, but I want to touch on it. Use the right technique. You've invested in all these great tools and this awesome paint. Make sure you're using rollers for those large open areas. Normally, a thicker nap on the roller will work better for textured surfaces, and they'll also do a better job at holding onto more paint. Thinner rollers, on the other hand, will give a smoother finish, but the trade-off is having to dip in the tray more often, so you just kind of have to weigh your pros and cons there. Brushes are obviously better for corners and trim, smaller spaces. They'll give you all that nice accuracy that a roller just simply cannot do. Now, when you're painting your walls, apply 2 coats at least, okay? 2 coats will provide optimal coverage in many cases when you're painting walls. I know that first coat you did looks amazing, but trust me, the second coat will be even better. Typically, I like to recommend waiting at least 2 to 4 hours between coats, but this will vary from product to product, the humidity and the moisture levels, all that stuff. So be sure to read the label or just ask your paint store specialist. Normally, if a room is all nice and prepped, I'll get the first coat on in the morning, I'll have my lunch, and as soon as I'm done eating that delicious sandwich, I'll go and do that second coat right after lunchtime. Number 9, paint the trim. Once the walls are done, paint the trim, baseboards, windows, and doors. This is how I do it. Not everyone does it like this. Some people start with the trim. You could do it the other way around, but I don't. Number 10, add those final touches. So this will be touch-ups on any areas that you might have missed, which is super common. You don't have to feel bad about it. Chances are, if you finished at 6 p.m. the night before, the lighting has changed considerably. Maybe you did miss some spots that you didn't really see until the next day when you get fresh new lighting. The sun has risen to show you all the ways you screwed up. But guess what? It's just paint, which means you can apply more paint. You can fix those issues. Apply another coat to any spots that need it, and you're done. Number 11, check the forecast. Not just for exterior jobs. High moisture outside usually means higher humidity inside, and that could lead to slower drying times, paint leveling issues, and an overall bad time. So ideally, working in a low moisture environment is going to be preferable. If you can get some air circulation going too, that's a big benefit. Bulk buy when you can. And this is just simple math, y'all. A 5-gallon pail is usually way more cost effective, but more importantly, it means you don't have 5 separate cans of paint, which could have slight but noticeable differences. It happens, trust me. I really hope these tips helped you. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing because we do 6 videos a week. You can also become a channel member to just further support what we do on this channel. Check out this video for more content lovingly created by yours truly.